Hi guys, welcome to another video with me. So in this video, I'm going through the FUEL ETF. So this is from BetaShares Global Energy Companies. And obviously the currency on this one is in AUD. So this is very heavily weighted to US companies that you can see in that list there. I think there's 53. And the underlying assets and services are oil, natural gas, LNG, refining products, pipelines, storage, and energy services. So why I've been looking at this one for a little bit, and within my trading system, I follow Northstar Bad Charts. I'll put a link in the description and you can go along. And this is using their methodology, a 5-star methodology. And I've put the lines on the chart here where I've got the final breakout line being around $7. And this is a monthly chart. So if next month, say January 1st, if the December candle closes above $7, then I'll set the trade. But however, you can see here it's consolidating nicely since about 2022, where it hasn't reached above there. So within this system, it's got to be above the 12-year moving average, which is the yellow line, also above the 3-year average, which is the purple line, plus also above the resistance cloud. And then once that's all achieved, then it has to break above this final breakout line, which I've placed here. And then I'll do a measured move and trade it. But what I'm going to be doing today is going through a bunch of ratios where we'll see how fuel is going up against a few other things, and you'll be able to see that it is definitely rotating into energy. There's been a big capital rotation event happening where gold, silver, and the miners have gone. And then the next thing, even uranium has gone a bit. It's gone up. Energy is the next thing to go. So let's go through the first one I've got here. So fuel versus VAS. So VAS is tracking the ASX. So right here, in all these charts, when the trend is going up, it's favoring fuel ETF, and when the trend's going down, it's favoring the one it's paired against. So you'll see here that fuel is trending up. So it's starting to be better to be in fuel than it is in the overall Australian stock market. Hasn't quite gone on and be the dominant one, but it's on its way. You'll see here down at the bottom here where the trend has reversed from fuel going down to fuel going up. That's that capital rotation event starting. You'll see a similar theme across all these ratios. So now we've got the fuel ETF versus the S&P 500. So right now, it's actually probably better to be in the S&P 500 than is fuel. But once we break this wake up line, it will be the other way, where it's better to start being in energy services or in fuel. Next one we've got is fuel versus gold. And probably no surprise, gold has an amazing run this year, that it's still better to be in gold. But you can see it's tracking this wake up line, and then sooner or later it might break through where energy is the play. Next, we got fuel versus silver. Again, it's just tracking this wake up line. As soon as it crosses this wake up line, it's going to be a better play to be in a fuel energy ETF than silver. Next one we've got is fuel versus the American dollar. And you can see here that when this is bullish, so the trend's going up, that's when energy stocks or energy ETFs are beating the USD. So you can see that it's almost about to break out and totally dominate the US dollar. Fuel versus inflation. So energy tends to outperform when inflation is rising. You probably noticed inflation has been rising everywhere, especially here in Australia. So that's broken through the wake up line, the early breakout line. It's broken the clouds, broken the 3-year and 1-year moving average, and trending up. So this is telling you investing in energy, it's going to beat inflation. Fuel versus the Aussie dollar. So it's sort of been just consolidating here for a few years. Hasn't really dropped below the cloud and been bouncing off the 3-year average and touching the 1-year average. So that's just a good insight into, again, how fuel is going against the local Australian currency. All right, so here we're going to go through actual commodities, the raw commodities themselves. So fuel versus oil. So it's broken the early breakout line that I've set here, but it's got a bit to get through this resistance cloud there. So just having a play or investing in pure oil itself or the energy ETF here looks like it's going to be better to be in fuel. Fuel versus natural gas. So natural gas is doing better. Natural gas is trending down. If this can break the wake up line, start to reverse the trend up, then it'll be better to be in fuel than actual natural gas. In copper, so it's better to be in copper right now. Again, trend starts to go up, then it's better to be in fuel versus copper. So you see here all the actual raw products, gold, silver, oil, gas, now uranium. They've just gone on a really good run in the last year. But that will turn. You can see it's that's hit a bottom, starting to trend back up, where energy will be the next play. This is just sort of a good one I like to throw in there, where we've got fuel versus Bitcoin, and where it would be better to invest in energy ETF or Bitcoin. And obviously Bitcoin's dominated this for many years, but looks like it's starting to roll over, where it's going to be energy's going to be the better play. Fuel. So this is, I've pulled out one of the higher weighted companies within fuel, Exxon. So Exxon is in fuel, which is oil and gas. That's broken the wake up line and starting to roll over, and if we can get through this cloud, yeah, it'll be the better play. But obviously, Exxon itself is starting to break out as well. Next one, so I did a video, I'll link to this in the description, of MVR. MVR is Australian resources. So fuel is sort of like the same thing, but without any Australian exposure. So they've so going back and forth here at the moment. Better to be in Australian resources, but if that starts to tick back up, it's better to be in US. XLE, US energy companies. So starting to better to favor the fuel ETF there. Fuel versus another ETF, XOP, which is oil and gas producers. Again, same thing. Trends changed, then starting to roll a trend up. Better to be better in the fuel ETF. Fuel versus IEZ, which is energy services ETF. So that again has broken, gone in a bit of resistance into the cloud. It's bouncing off the 3-year average there. Now we've got fuel versus XJR. XJR is ASX 200 resources covering the energy sector and metals and mining. So it's 200 companies that are in that. Sort of gives you like a benchmark how that overall sector is going. Again, you can see fuel is sort of consolidating at the moment, looking again probably to be the best ETF to be in coming ahead. Fuel versus transportation, again, sort of has trended up and then consolidating. I guess that's like a bit of a bull flag happening there. Bouncing off resistance, needs to break through here, and then it's off. And usually what happens is energy goes before transportation. And last one I've got here is fuel versus IXC ETF, which is fuel versus the world energy equities companies. And again, it's broken the wake up line, then finding a bit of resistance here to be dominant. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you can see that I'm waiting for fuel to break out within the next month or two, where I'll be placing a trade on. Please let me know in the comments if you've been following fuel or currently have fuel in your holdings or trading the fuel ETF, or if there's anything else you'd like me to cover, whether it's a certain ETF or company. Please let me know in the comments. Till next time, thanks for watching.